This is The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen R. Covey, one of the best-selling self-help books ever written, and it's survived decades of trends because it isn't really a productivity hack book at all. Covey argues true effectiveness comes from rebuilding your character from the inside out, moving step by step from mastering yourself to working well with others to renewing yourself for the long haul. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what each of the 7 habits means, why they build on each other in order, and how to actually start using them today. Stephen Covey wrote this book in 1989, and his big claim is that most advice fails because it tries to change your behavior without changing how you see the world, what he calls your paradigm. Imagine wearing foggy glasses and blaming the room for being blurry. Until you clean the glasses, nothing you do in the room helps. Covey says real change starts with character, not with clever tricks for acting nice in a meeting. He defines a habit as the overlap of 3 things: knowing what to do, knowing how to do it, and actually wanting to do it, like a Venn diagram where all 3 circles meet. He also splits efficiency from effectiveness and warns that being efficient at the wrong thing is like sprinting confidently down the wrong road. The first habit is be proactive, and it's built on one huge idea. Between anything that happens to you and how you react, there's a gap, and inside that gap, you get to choose. Picture someone spilling coffee on your shirt right before a big interview. You can't control the spill, but you fully control whether you spend the next hour furious or just grab a napkin and move on. Covey says reactive people spend their energy complaining about things they can't control, like the weather or their boss's mood, while proactive people pour their energy into their circle of influence, the stuff they actually can act on. He even points out that our everyday language gives us away, saying, "That's just how I am," or "They make me so mad," quietly hands away your power to someone else. Proactive people instead talk in terms of choices, because they know that between the stimulus and the response, freedom to choose is the one thing nobody can take from them. Habit 2 is begin with the end in mind, and Covey's favorite exercise here is genuinely unsettling in a good way. Imagine sitting at your own funeral, listening to 4 people speak about you: a family member, a friend, a coworker, and someone from your community. What do you want them to honestly be able to say? That question forces you to figure out your values before life just happens to you by default. He calls this starting with your own personal mission statement, basically a compass that says what kind of person you want to be, way before you write a single to-do list. The key distinction he draws is between leadership and management. Management asks, how do I climb this ladder fastest? While leadership asks, is this even the right wall to lean the ladder against? Without that end point in mind, you can spend decades being incredibly busy while climbing toward a goal that never actually mattered to you. Habit 3, put first things first, is where Covey gets really practical with his famous time management grid. He splits everything you could do into 4 boxes based on 2 questions. Is it urgent, and is it important? Quadrant 1 is urgent and important, like a flooding bathroom you have to fix right now. Quadrant 3 is urgent but not important, like a phone ringing that's actually a spam call. It feels pressing, but it doesn't matter. Covey's whole point is that highly effective people deliberately spend most of their time in Quadrant 2, important but not urgent, things like exercising or planning ahead, because nobody's screaming at you to do them today, so they're the easiest things to skip. His advice is to schedule your priorities instead of just prioritizing whatever's on your schedule. Planning your week around your big rocks first, and letting the small pebbles of busy work fill in around them. And because your time is limited, saying yes to Quadrant 2 often means saying a polite no to good-sounding but unimportant requests. Habit 4, think win-win, moves us from managing yourself to dealing with other people. And it starts by naming the trap most of us fall into, treating every disagreement like a competition with one winner and one loser. Covey calls that scarcity thinking, acting like there's only one slice of pie, so if you get a bigger piece, I automatically get a smaller one. Win-win thinking instead assumes there's usually a way to grow the pie, or find a solution where both sides actually come out ahead. Like two kids arguing over one orange until they realize one wants the juice and the other wants the peel for baking. Suddenly there's plenty for both. He warns that constantly playing win-lose, even if you keep winning, quietly turns every relationship in your life into a rivalry, which is exhausting and eventually costs you trust. And when a real win-win genuinely isn't possible, Covey says the mature move is to agree to walk away, no deal, rather than settle for a lose-lose that leaves resentment behind. Habit 5 is seek first to understand, then to be understood. And Covey opens it with a sharp little observation. Most of us don't actually listen. We just wait for our turn to talk while quietly rehearsing our comeback. Picture a friend describing a rough day at school while you're nodding along, but really just waiting to jump in with your own story about your rough day. That's not listening. That's taking turns talking. He calls the real skill empathic listening, which means trying to genuinely see the situation through the other person's eyes and feelings before you say a single word of advice. His analogy is medical. A good doctor never prescribes a treatment before doing a proper diagnosis. Yet in everyday life, we hand out advice constantly to problems we never bothered to fully understand. The payoff is huge, though, because when people feel truly heard, they naturally lower their guard and become far more open to hearing your perspective in return, which is the only way real influence and trust actually get built. Habit 6, Synergize, is really about what happens when habits 4 and 5 combine. Once you're thinking win-win and genuine listening, you unlock the ability to create something together that neither person could have built alone. Covey's simple math trick for this is that in real teamwork, 1 plus 1 doesn't just equal 2, it can equal 3 or 10. The same way mixing two ordinary chemicals can create a reaction way more powerful than either one on its own. The catch is synergy only happens when you actually value the fact that other people see things differently than you, instead of treating their different opinion as an obstacle to argue down. Think of a team stuck on a problem where one person keeps insisting on plan A and another keeps insisting on plan B. Synergy shows up when instead of picking a side, they combine both into plan C, an option neither of them had thought of alone. Covey's point is that differences aren't the enemy of good teamwork. They're the actual raw material for it. The 7th and final habit, Sharpen the Saw, is Covey's argument for why you have to keep maintaining yourself, or all 6 other habits eventually fall apart. His famous image is a woodcutter sawing furiously at a tree for hours, getting slower and slower. And when someone suggests he stop and sharpen his blunt saw, he snaps back that he's too busy cutting to stop, which is exactly the mistake we make when we're too busy living to ever take care of ourselves. Covey breaks renewal into 4 dimensions you need to regularly refresh: your body through exercise and rest, your mind through reading and learning, your heart through real relationships, and your spirit through whatever gives you meaning. Skip any one of these for long enough, and you become that dull, exhausted saw, still swinging but barely making a dent. The habit closes the whole book in a loop, because a well-rested, well-read, well-connected, grounded version of you is simply far better at being proactive, planning with the end in mind, and cooperating well with everyone around you. If there's one idea to walk away with, it's that lasting change in your life starts with how you see the world and who you choose to be, not with some quick trick or tactic. Covey's 7 habits build on each other like steps on a staircase, from taking responsibility for yourself all the way to renewing your energy so you can keep climbing. If this breakdown helped, subscribe for more book summaries that actually teach you something you can use.